welcome to the next episode of EPM Chronicles and Confessions. We have Arun Sunkara here. Arun, could you please introduce yourself?
Sure, Tim. Hello, everyone. My name is Arun Sunkara. I lead the practice of EPM for North America and UK Europe for Mastek. And I've been in the space of EPM for close to a decade now.
Fantastic. So one of the questions I ask really is, and this is really because we work in a very complex industry. How do you explain to others outside the industry what you do? And have you had some misconceptions what you do?
I've certainly had a lot of misconceptions, but I think over the year, what I've started to learn is to keep it very simple. So what I try to do now is, for example, family, friends, or people who are not from the same space, and if they want to know what you do, I just start by saying that, hey, do you do budgeting for yourselves? Like, how do you spend for your personal, financials and stuff? We just do it at an organization level, much more complex, much more advanced, and that has simplified the way I explain people what I do. They still have questions like, what does consulting mean? What do you do with that tool? Is it on Excel? But yeah, this has worked for me in the recent times. Misconceptions, yeah, a lot. I think it took a while for me to explain to my parents, what I actually do. And my mother is quite inquisitive. She really enjoys knowing and what I do and things. But yeah, I think it took me half a decade to explain her. Now she knows what I do. Previously, she was wondering, why can't you do everything from India? Why do you have to travel? And things like that. But yeah, much more simple now.
Cool. So what has been your biggest challenge in EPM and what's the solution you've done for that?
I think the biggest solution was back in 2000 and I would say 18 when we were working with, a couple of our customers, and Oracle Fusion was quite new then, Tim. It has just come on cloud and people were moving from EBS, and EBS had habituated people in using journals for transferring their budgets. So in EBS, you could create a budget journal and move your budgets around, and that was giving them a very good way of, moving budgets. But then when EBS moved to cloud, that feature was taken away because it was PBCS that was now being looked up to for doing that part. And we had to work with a lot of our customers in explaining that there's a better way of doing it now. We'll show you a new solution, and we really achieved a very good budget transfer solution in PBCS. I think that was a really exciting time because the challenge was it felt insurmountable when it came up. But when it did happen, it was very refreshing. Even the customers loved it.
Cool. Could you share us a prominent EPM success story with the audience?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I would consider the public sector work that we do is extremely successful. So if you look at the current space of local boroughs or councils, or for that matter public sector organizations, a majority of them currently use the EPM solution that we have put together. And over the years they've enhanced it quite a lot. They've brought in a lot of other processes into it. So it has really helped a lot of councils and boroughs in making their overall budgeting experience better. I think that has been a big achievement, I would say, from an individual as well as as an organization standpoint.
Fantastic. So what's the most rewarding part of your career?
I think the fact that you get to meet different people who have got different perception of a process is what excites me. Because you look at things from your own perspective. For example, for you, 1 + 1 could be 2, but for someone else, it could still mean 2, but come in a different way. And I've really enjoyed that. So whenever I've gotten into discussions around processes and how you want to do things, I've really gotten into some interesting conversations, and I really enjoy that. So I'm always excited to meet customers, or when we have sessions where we're discussing processes and solutions. So that has been the most rejoicing part of this job.
Great. So can you share some funny or unexpected moments in your career in EPM?
I think it happened quite early in my career. Was probably one of the first few projects that I did. And back then, Oracle EPM Cloud was quite new, and I was trained directly on EPM Cloud. And I was trained on Hyperion, and I went to implement a project. And the customer was a conglomerate who used to do a lot of things. They were into investment, agriculture, hotels, and everything. So we were taking one process at a time, and we had completed everything else, and the agriculture was kept towards the last, and it was their decision. When we came to agriculture, they were into, production of dates and a lot of other things. And one thing that, they were very serious about was that they wanted to know how much each plant can produce, like how many
Wow.
dates a single plant can produce. And it really caught me off guard. Like, I just couldn't comprehend that, how could we do it? How is it possible? What's the realistic way? And I found it, very difficult to navigate through the situation. And I found it very funny towards the end when, we eventually gave them a solution that worked. Uh, but still, they were not they were not completely happy with it. So the director over there, the CTO over there, he came up and he said that, when we told you the requirements, we could see it on your face that it was unrealistic, and we also believe that it is unrealistic. But it's just that, we wanted it, and it's good to know that we have gotten somewhere. But it was really funny. All through that time, I kept telling everyone that, I'm not sure what. So I was new to the EPM world as well. So I kept telling everyone, I'm not sure what this product is capable of, but I don't think it can, guess how much dates a single tree, can grow. But yeah, that was a funny moment for me at the beginning of the career.
Cool. So what's been your inspiration to join your current company, and also inspiration to stay, because we kind of move around a bit in this industry?
Yeah, no, I think what worked for me was, I was with this organization called EBS, which was taken over by Mastek.
Yes.
But what I went on to realize was that, the values and the way the organization wanted to do business was exactly the similar to the previous organization. And what kept me going with them was the fact that they give you a free hand. So, for example, if you want to grow business in a certain direction, or if you want to focus on certain customers, you have complete freedom to do that. And I feel the support and the backing that you get in some of your decisions, that has really, made it worthwhile staying here.
Cool. So it's an evolving industry, and there's a lot of things happening, competition-wise, or product-wise, things like that. So how do you keep updated with the latest trends and innovations?
I think obviously the monthly updates is something that everyone follows, but that's more on the product side, right? Like what the product can do and not. But what I've done over the past couple of years is to continuously engage with our existing as well as previous customers. So even if they've left us and gone with someone else, I've stayed in touch with them to understand, what they're doing with their solution, how it's evolving. And that has really brought to the fore, what other partners think of a solution, how they evolve it, which direction they take it in. And usually I feel that, EPM solutions are driven by individuals and not organizations, because whoever is on the project can take it in any direction. So I've seen some amazing work. I've seen some work that I felt, could have been done better. But yeah, that's my way of, staying in touch. Like I've got good friends, in all of our projects at customer ends, and we regularly catch up, and that's how I come to know what they're doing.
So what's your key piece of advice for beginners in our industry, or novices trying to learn, or people trying to even move to our industry?
I think I just would like to say that, it's one of those industries and sectors where the applications capabilities are, innumerable. Like you would just not be able to, put a box on it and say that, okay, you can't do it in this way. There's alternatives, and there's many ways in which you can do it. So I feel that it really opens up your mind if you're analytical, and if you're, if you think of resolving problems, like if you focus on solving problems, this is the best industry to get in, because the applications capabilities and the widespread knowledge set that is available outside in the market, it's quite good. And the fact that, not a whole lot of people do EPM, right? It's a subset of people. Like it is, I would say that the world of EPM is so small that someone either directly or through someone else, or you may have heard of them. That makes it, a really close-knit family, and you would have worked with a contractor 5 years ago. Now, they're somewhere else, and you would know their team. I feel that, the bond and the people involved in this sector are quite good. So I feel that two things. One is, if you're a problem solver, and if you're more analytical, this product has got a lot to offer you. Even 10 years into it, you'll still feel you've not, learned enough. And the people in the sector, I think these are the two factors I'd encourage people to look into for moving here.
Okay, thank you. So if you had a crystal ball and you wanted to see what's going to happen in the future, what do you think is going to happen in the next 5 years or so in our industry?
I certainly feel that, ESG is going to be at the fore of what EPM is doing across products, not just Oracle, across all the products. I also feel that, there would be integration of processes, like, platforms getting integrated into having a single platform that gives you all the solutions, like how, we have the workforce, capital, financials, and all of those things, like the out of the box work, solutions that PBCS offers or Oracle Planning offers right now. I have a hunch that maybe, 4 or 5 years down the line, it'll be a single environment offering you consolidation, budgeting, and all those pieces, because, it makes customer experience quite significant. And I somehow feel Oracle would be at the front of it because they already have, a lot of technologies aligned. So yeah, that's my hunch. I'm not sure if it'll happen, but yeah, it's a crystal ball, right?
Thank you so much, Arun. It's been wonderful today talking to you and giving us some really great insight. So have a great day and talk to you very soon.
You too. Thank you. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.